Hoping that you're doing well today on a Monday, thank goodness. And Robert Rowland's with us, and Mike Amos is with us. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
And of course, we're ready to start a week. And let me have my shot at the catch this morning.
We are live, I assume. That nobody said live.
Hey, are we live? Are we running live this morning? Are we on the air?
We are.
Okay, good. We're going to check this out.
Might help if somebody
The first
tells you
thing
live.
I saw this morning was the catch, and Robert, you got to be tickled with this. Being the head softball coach at Pike Liberal Arts School, tell us about the catch. And of course, this shows your teams and the boys and the girls teams at Pike and all the teams in Pike County.
Right. It's got our boys baseball team defending state champs. And it's got a girls softball team in it, and so we're real proud of both of them. Both of them are doing really well right now. And then it also covers the entire county and surrounding counties. So we're just really excited to be a part of it.
Of course, it goes to Zion Chapel and goes to Charles Henderson, boys and girls, Pike County boys and girls, Goshen boys and girls, and some good-looking players here. And if you haven't picked up if you didn't receive this in the messenger, you need to go by and pick one up. I keep it year-round, but one thing that it doesn't have that normally it does have is the schedules, and that's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It is. We have a schedule on our website.
Yeah, that's right. And what is your website?
PikeLiberalArts.com.
All right, PikeLiberalArts.com. That's easy to find. Of course, I'm wearing yellow this morning. He's wearing white. You're wearing what?
I had green on yesterday for St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
I was down at Graydon Beach, and they had all kinds of crawfish bowls going on. And
I bet that was a big time.
And a lot of green beer, all kinds of stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah. That's big time. You go to New York City, and it's probably one of the biggest days of the year.
Big event. My brother's born on St. Patrick's Day.
And Boston, the same way. Boston is huge in St. Patrick's, and Atlanta, I think, goes in big part.
Yeah, Birmingham has a big parade as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it was just a regular day for me watching golf.
Yeah, you got to see, I guess Jim Furyk at 48 almost won the
I loved it. I was pulling for old Jim, wasn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good day to watch golf.
McElroy is just too strong right now, though. He's been playing really well all season and finished runner-up several times. And, now Roy, he's not even 30 years old, has won 4 majors and a Players' Championship. So that's only been done by Nicholas and I think one other player, Tiger Woods.
I'll tell you, he's a great player, and Colin McCreary was on our show Friday, and Colin's been working some of these tours, and he followed McElroy the other day, and I asked him who's the best out there. He said by far McElroy, where he hits it solid all the time, and he hits it so far. I remember him when he first came out. He was a little bitty guy, but he started working out weights, and his back started getting bigger and bigger. He's got a big old back.
He's a really good golfer.
And he swings hard. And
don't you think they can afford a personal trainer?
Yeah. Well,
what do you make? 2.5 million yesterday?
Yeah, I know it was a great money thing for him. And of course, he's a regular fellow. He's not even. How old is he? Not even 30.
No, he's 30. Yeah. Coach, how many years have you been at Pike Liberal Arts now?
This is my 4th year.
Okay.
And what's going on? Tell us what's going on.
We are sponsoring, this is our 2nd year, we're doing a Thunder Chicken Rodeo. It's a turkey hunt that we do to support girls' athletics.
Oh, okay.
And last year was the first year that we did it, and it had a lot of success. And this is the 2nd year that we're doing it, and we just kind of wanted to try to advertise it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And just kind of put the word out. The way that we do this is you sign up in teams of 2. Like if you and I wanted to hunt together,
that's right.
We would sign up and pay an entry fee of $100, and we can hunt together at the same place, or we can hunt separate at wherever we wanted to hunt.
That's what I was wondering. Where are you going to find all these places to hunt?
Well, you hunt wherever you're legal to hunt. Like I've got a hunting club that I hunt in, and I've got family land.
Well, you're not telling me you're a big turkey hunter, are you?
Oh, I love to turkey hunt. I'd rather.
That means you never go to school.
Oh, I go to school, but turkey hunting for me in the springtime is limited to when we're not playing tournaments and when I got off days.
I tell this story about a friend of mine. He worked with the Air Force Montgomery National Guard, and during turkey season, one solid month, he would go in, take a half day, and every day go turkey hunting before he
I wish I could do that. That would be a great way to work.
Well, turkey hunting, I've got to ask you this: is it big in the mornings or in the afternoons?
To me, it's big in the mornings because you can go out there and you pretty much know whether or not the birds are receptive and gobbling and stuff. And if they're not gobbling, you can go out of the woods and go get breakfast and go back home and do something. Whereas deer hunting, you just kind of you get out there and you see it and you wait and you wait. And I like turkey hunting just simply because it's more interactive.
Yeah. How early do you have to get out there? In the mornings?
About as early as I got up this morning. I want to get up there before daylight breaks.
Okay.
As soon as you hear redbirds calling in the morning, you're a little bit late.
Now, do you hunt turkey hunt from the ground, or do you get in a tree, or do you get in a tree stand, or
you hunt
shooting
on the ground
house?
because it's against the law to hunt in a tree.
Okay.
Well, they're actually coming down from the tree.
But a shooting house, you can be in a shooting
You
house.
can go on the ground. You can be on blind on the ground, but it's against the law to be up in because the difference in turkey hunting and deer hunting is you don't wear any hunter orange.
Yeah.
So if you're up in a tree calling and a hunter comes by and he doesn't recognize you as being a person as opposed to a turkey, you can get shot.
You mean a turkey's not colorblind?
No, they're not colorblind. That's one of their defenses is they can see what we see at 100 yards, they see at 1,000 yards.
Isn't that amazing? And of course, the turkey hunters, like you said, they're the most avid hunters out there.
You've had like professional turkey callers on this show before.
Oh yeah, the make callers and so forth.
I'm not one.
What they're trying to do
I'm not one of them.
The male is trying to lure the female to him. Is that right?
That's why he gobbles in the spring is mating season.
Yeah.
So he gobbles and he pulls in the females to him.
How long is this season for turkey?
Season goes from March 16th to April 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you hear a gobble almost every time you go?
No. No, the weather affects it. Coyotes affect it. Other predators affect it. Depending on when the weather changes affects it. Hunting pressure affects it. So a lot of times early in the season you'll hear a lot of birds. And then as the season goes on, they get kind of used to hunters' habits, and so they may gobble one time, fly down, and not say another word.
And of course, it's exciting when you hear that gobble.
Oh, it's exciting when they gobble and come up. It's exciting.
All right, tell me this. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about turkey hunters. What's the closest you've ever had a turkey get to you?
Well, I've had them for 10 feet. I've had one right behind me gobble.
Now, how does that make you feel?
Well, it just makes your heart race. When you know one's behind you gobbling and you can't move.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
And you don't do that often, though, do you?
No, I've had that maybe 3 times.
Yeah. Now, a turkey hunter needs to be in the woods at dark. Is that right?
Needs to be in the woods at dark because you don't know, unless you roost them the night before, you don't really know where they're roosting until they gobble. So if you walk up on one and he sees you, he's not going to gobble. Yeah. He'll be quiet.
Yeah. What are you shooting him with?
Just a shotgun. You shoot them as the loads are 4, 5, and 6 shot that you can shoot legally, and so it's just a shotgun.
Yeah. In most cases.
And you're going for that neck head?
Pretty much.
So if you shot him in the feathers, it would be.
Pretty much you've destroyed any meat that you can eat and stuff, unless it's unless you're in. Like if you're in our rodeo and it's a bird that could win the contest, and you're not worried about the meat, then that would be a decent shot.
What is the difference? I mean, I'm a huge lover of turkey, just like anybody out there. But what's the difference in a wild turkey, as far as like quality of meat?
Not much difference. I mean, it's just
smaller.
It's actually they could be bigger. I mean, I've killed one that was 24 pounds before.
Oh wow!
Oh man!
And so the older the birds, the bigger they get. They taste just as well.
Do you wring his neck?
No, once you hit them in the head, they're dead.
Yeah,
I know, but
when
you clean him, well, that's right. That's right.
You can clean him one of 2 ways. You can either pluck him or you can skin him.
Well, let me answer this now. I've said this on this show before. the worst smell I've ever smelt in my life was hot chicken feathers. Does turkey feathers smell like that too?
No, but the gizzard doesn't smell real good.
Oh man,
The gizzard, when you clean them, that gizzard has.
Yeah.
So how many do y'all expect to kill? I mean, I know you can't like predict stuff like that.
Last year we had 13 brought in. We scored
That's great.
13.
that one morning, is that right?
One morning we had 13 turned in, and we scored them that morning. And I think the highest score, we're scoring by National Wildlife Turkey Federation score, and I think it was like 67 in some odd points, and that won the contest. And if you win first place, we have a pair of shotguns we give out.
Oh man,
First place is a pair of shotguns. Second place is 300.
over and under, or what
No, it
kind
was
of?
last year. It was a pair of Remington 20 gauges. This year, it's a pair of Winchester 12 gauges.
Oh man,
And so, really nice shotguns that we're going to give out. Got the duck camo on it. Second place are $300. Third place is $200. And then if you kill the bird that's the fattest bird, we're going to give you $100.
okay, well, that's good.
And this is going to be April the 6th.
April the 6th. And
That's a big day for me.
Yeah, that's right. Your birthday. Your birthday.
Right, birthday on that day. You have to be brought in on at least by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's even a bigger birthday for you, man, because you had twins.
I know. I always wanted to know this. What if you bring in more than one turkey? I mean, do they fight each other on who gets to come in and get shot?
Like if you and I brought one in each, we'll score them both and let you enter the biggest bird.
Yeah.
And
I know it, but let's just say, is there any way that you could actually bring in more turkeys to you when you're calling?
Oh yes. I've had several gobblers come in, and you just kind of have to pick the biggest one that you want to shoot.
And I tell you that's quite something. Now, young kids, what's the age group here?
Well, I mean, you can if you've got a preteen like that's below 16, as long as they're hunting with a parent or an adult, they're legal. So I mean, we've got several that are like, I've got several 8th graders that have brought in, and they're going to hunt with their dad.
Yeah.
I mean that's legal in the state of Alabama, so that's legal for them to hunt in our hunt.
Yeah, and of course you were born and raised in the Tauga Academy area, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I've been down that road a few times, and we were talking earlier. You've been coaching, gosh, how many years now?
35 years.
35 years.
Is that public and private?
30 years in public and 5 years in
So
private.
you drive into Troy every day?
Yes. I live in Montgomery and drive into Troy.
Exactly.
So you lived in Troy and drove to Montgomery for 26 years.
That's right. That's right. Now, and of course, you've been coaching girls softball how
long? Since 2009.
Now, did you have a daughter yourself that played?
No, I moved from Benjamin Russell back to Hopewell High School, which is where I began my career.
Yeah, the green and the white.
Yes, it's a great place to coach. And
did you live on the lake over there?
No, I was living in Montgomery because my wife had transferred in forensic sciences, and the guy who hired me says, "Well, I got a job, but it's not in baseball; it's in softball." And I said, "I'll take it," because I'd kind of gotten tired of coaching baseball, and was interested in seeing, what it would be like to coach girls.
Yeah. Well, I tell you
Of course,
what.
in girls softball, I guess it comes down to you got pitching, doesn't it?
Pitching and really good defense.
What is the pitch limit in high school softball?
There is none.
There is none.
You can pitch.
So
there
is in baseball, but not in softball.
You can pitch the same girl every game of the year.
That's huge. I didn't realize that.
Exactly. And, that's amazing.
So how many players do you have on the roster at Pine
I
Bars?
got 17 on the varsity and 15 on the JV.
So you coach both of them?
Yes.
Oh, me. That is something. I was looking at this, at the catch, and now I want you to understand that, Pike, the boys are coming out just off of a state championship. But let me tell you this. If I could coach girls that look like this every day, if I could coach girls that look like this every day, I would go back to coaching. Boy, what a beautiful young lady.
Maddie's a pretty girl.
What's her name?
Maddie Johnson.
And she's one of your star players?
She's my center fielder.
Your center fielder.
You've already coached the pilot balls.
Hey, Mike, this is the reason he coaches girls.
So does that take over from Becca Hartley? Is the prettiest softball player ever?
Exactly. But what a lovely lady she is. And boy, they say she's a fine player, too.
She's a good one. She's really a good one.
And, of course...
so do you have more of a senior team this year? Or
actually, I've only got 4 seniors. Where I've got most of my players is in my sophomore class.
Okay.
I've got like 10 sophomores.
And as far as competition-wise, who's really good in softball in 3A?
Macon East moved up to 3A this year, and Glenwood's always solid.
Lee Scott good.
Bessemer. Lee Scott's a little down this year.
Yeah.
They graduated a lot of kids from last year. So it's, if I was to pick 3, it would be Macon East, Glenwood, and Bessemer.
Does Lott still coach at Macon East?
Yes.
Yeah, I've known him ever since he was a baby. His daddy, Larry Lott's an old friend of mine. You know Larry?
Oh, I know Coach Lott. He was our activities director at the Y when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah, he was a big Y guy.
Big
right.
Y guy.
And, of course, he went to Troy years ago.
So what public school did you coach at for 30 years?
I coached at Hopeville for 10, Pinson Valley, Montevallo.
Well, isn't it amazing?
You coached the 02 boys at Pennsylvania?
No, I was in the 90s. I coached Terry Jones that played in the major leagues at Pinson Valley.
Isn't that amazing what Pinson Valley's program's done now?
Well, they've always had
just won the state championship in basketball and football.
Always been really competitive. It's just that's where everybody's moving out, and so that more and more athletes are going to that school. Great school.
Yeah, people don't realize how close you got Trussville, you got Clay Chalkville and Pinson. I lived in Birmingham for years, and all those are
See, when I was
20
in
minutes
Birmingham,
of each other.
it was Trussville that was the big school that everybody's going to, and now everybody's moving toward Pinson Valley.
Yeah, that's right.
Coached at Robert E. Lee for 8 years.
All right, and there's where it all starts with Troy. Is that y'all coach together?
Me and Coach Allen.
You and Coach Allen, and y'all been very good friends for a long time, and he persuaded you to come down here and coach girls.
Twisted my arm, made me come down
here. Well, you're off to a good start. Tell us about your team.
Well, we're just really young, and we're not really young. We've got most of our girls are 10th graders. I got 4 seniors, two juniors. They're very, very competitive. Really good pitching. Our pitching has gotten a lot better.
That's the key, isn't it?
It is. Last year's ERA was about 3.8, 3.9. Yeah. This year's about 2.4.
Let me ask you a personal question.
That's a big difference.
Mike, I want to ask him a personal question. Can you teach girls how to pitch?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I wanted you to hear, ladies and gentlemen. Very few people can teach softball pitchers. Isn't that right?
It's
Coach Wynn there in Montgomery was one of the great ones. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you find a girl that can pitch, usually there's a pitching coach that sort of comes with her. Is that right?
Pretty much. Most of my girls go to pitching coaches.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was a big pitching coach in baseball.
Oh, I got you.
But throwing a softball is a different kind of mechanics.
Yeah. Well, then you were raised.
So in high school softball, I know you see the College World Series, you watch Alabama. And Alabama, I don't know if we talked about this, Dad, but they're undefeated. What are they, 31-0?
Something like that.
32-0 in softball right now. But
who is that, Alabama?
Alabama is.
Oh, boy.
But in high school, what do you see, fastball-wise? What are they throwing in high school and private school? Are they throwing 50 miles an hour?
My girls are sitting around 58,
wow.
59. There's the girl that I left at Hopewell when she was in 7th grade, Kaylin Dismuke, she signed with Auburn. She's throwing 65, 66.
That's real fast.
Yeah, that is.
And she'll be at Auburn next year. The girl that signed, that's committed to Auburn for Pickens, we played her in the Glenwood tournament and beat them 1-0. And she struck out 15 against us.
Oh, boy.
And I know she throws 63, 64.
Of course, the Yarborough girl you coached, Chad's daughter, what does she throw at South Alabama?
Samantha, when she was on, she was throwing 63, 64.
She one of the best pitchers you ever coached?
Speed-wise, yes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Spin-wise, no.
Yeah. What do you mean by spin?
Well, some girls throw with speed and some girls throw with spin, which
the ball
means that the ball moves.
Throw that Rise ball.
Yeah, and I had a young lady at Hopeville, Tony Beth Garner, who was 17-2 for me, and she never threw a fastball. She threw all spin.
Isn't that amazing?
She threw 48 miles an hour. And she played in college throwing 40.
Now let me ask you this: the best pitch in baseball now is the changeup. Can you throw it? Can girls throw changeup?
That's probably their most effective pitch.
Yeah, how are they able to do that?
It's just something else.
It takes a lot of skill. I mean, what we're saying is not just anybody can pitch in softball. Isn't that right?
That's right. You have to really work at it. And my girls do a really good job of working at it.
But now
what are you trying to do at the top of the lineup? Just have people that can slap the ball, get on base?
Well, I mean,
put your power
to
in
be a
the
slapper,
cleanup?
mainly left-handers, I try to get a lot of speed early, and then 3, 4, and 5 that can drive the ball, and then just kind of repeat that. And
so slappers are out. I mean, those girls that are running toward the pitcher. That's what I say.
Yeah, they're halfway
called
base.
slappers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a need for slappers out there.
Well, if you're left-handed and you got speed, they're taught early to slap the ball, put it down, and run. Because if you let the ball bounce twice on a slapper, they're safe.
Yeah.
You've got to catch the ball and get rid of it, or you're not going to get them out.
Isn't it amazing to see what softball in this state has been like over the last several years? Like I'd never thought in my life I'd watch World Series softball championships growing up.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
It's a fast game.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot.
It's by far. I mean, it's so much better than slow pitch softball. It's pitiful, And now the great thing about it is, all these kids on your team have a chance to maybe play in college.
I've got several that can, yes.
Yeah. And, of course, let's go down your lineup. You got a little time, I hope.
I do.
You teach class, too, don't you?
I do.
What class are you going to be missing?
First period, 8 o'clock.
All right. We'll start with Emily
She
Williamson.
plays third. She's a sophomore.
And Hannah Dawson.
Dana is a sophomore, pitches and plays second.
Allie Russian.
She's a freshman and plays second, pitches.
Morgan Bundy, I know her mama.
Pitches and plays shortstop.
Is she a pretty good pitcher?
She's pretty good.
Emily Dean.
Outfielder and can catch, sophomore.
And Ashley Adams.
She is a junior, plays outfield.
And all of these are pretty girls. Mallory Clifton.
Senior, plays outfield.
Sarah Calhoun.
Junior, plays outfield.
Avery Henderson.
Middle infielder, sophomore.
Number 10, Olivia Barron.
She's an outfielder, sophomore.
Number 12, Madison Lynn Johnson.
She is a senior outfielder.
Number 16, Ashley Stwell.
Atwell. She's a senior outfielder.
They did misspell a few words here. I don't know if it was edited or not. Bailey Eaton.
She's a sophomore outfielder.
Reagan Brown.
Sophomore outfielder.
Aubrey Malden.
She's a junior, can catch and plays third base and can pitch.
So she's what grade is she in? A junior.
She's a junior.
And number 22, Grace Rushing.
Sophomore, first base.
And I think that's
Rushing's usually a good baseball, softball name in Troy.
Yeah, they from Spring Hill, and I don't know. But
so how's that work? I mean, you have to have probably tryouts, don't you, for these girls to?
I don't really do tryouts because I'm graduating 4, and so I've got a small 9th grade class, and so when these 4 seniors graduate, I'm down to 13.
That's what you run into at Pike and schools like that, because some years you'll have 20 players, and some years you won't have but 8. Is that right?
What is the graduating class at Pike Bars for seniors?
Around 40, 45.
It's pretty big.
But you seem like you really love what you do, and you've been doing it a long time. And actually, how long have you actually coached girls?
See, it'll be about 9 years now.
Yeah.
9, 10 years.
And are you always like during the summers going to watch these rec games and so forth, looking for a pitcher?
Well, if my girls play, I go watch them. If they're playing in a tournament, I go watch them. If they travel and play, here and there in a state tournament, I try to go watch them.
There's a lot of recruiting going on with good pitchers, other bigger schools trying to get them. And, what I'm saying, there are a lot of pitchers out there, but the great pitchers, it's hard to find, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, there's always somebody trying to get somebody.
The reason Alabama's good, the reason Auburn's good, the reason Troy's good, they've got good pitchers. Troy's got 3 real good pitchers, Troy University.
Right.
Have you ever watched them?
I hadn't had a chance to go see them.
Well, they had the tournament, in the early part of the year in Alabama. They played Alabama straight up.
I think they got 8 losses. They're all to SEC
But, I
teams.
mean, what I'm saying, Troy's got a quality program right here in town.
I've met their coach, and their players have been to the school.
Yeah.
And they look really athletic.
Do y'all, do they ever allow teams to play on their field?
I don't know. I know that at other schools that I've been at, I've played at college fields.
Yeah, it's really a nice facility, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
Of course, you've got a nice facility out at Pike, and now, all right, this is your varsity team. Now, how many on your junior varsity team?
I got 15.
So you have to take care of 30 girls every day. Is that right?
Pretty much.
How do you?
Can like an 8th grader play on the junior varsity, or how's that work?
We can play 6th through 9th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you ever find like a sixth grader or 7th grader that could actually play on the varsity?
I do. I've got one this year. The 6th graders. I've got her on the varsity.
What's her name?
Alyssa Barron. She's on the varsity this year. She's a pitcher. And I was a little short on pitching on my JV.
Yeah.
And I knew that she threw, and so I asked her if she would be interested in coming up and in making the transition, because she threw at 38 feet in youth ball.
Yeah.
To throwing at 43 feet on high school, so that next year it wouldn't be as hard to make that transition.
They pitch from 43 feet away, and sometimes the ball is going 50 and 60 miles an hour. That's pretty hard to do. Quick. It's hard to get the bat around, isn't it?
It's pretty quick. It's harder. It's quicker in softball in reaction than it is in baseball.
Yeah. The balls that they use, sometimes, it's hard to hit the ball solid. How is that?
It's just they've in baseball they've made it to where the bat controls the speed of the ball. In softball they made it to where the ball controls the speed of it coming off the bat, because the ball is made to where it only will come off the bat at a certain amount of speed.
I've never heard that before.
Are y'all using the Wilson ball?
This year we are.
But the ball feels hard, but it
is. It's just one big lump of whatever composite they make it.
But
out
if
of.
Somebody hits it on a sweet spot, it'll go then.
It'll still move. But I mean, that's how they control the reaction of it coming off the bat in softball, is with the ball.
You ever find girls to be pretty good hitters but still can't hit the sweet spot?
Oh yeah, they're like that. But now we've got some pretty good hitters on our team.
You got any home run hitters?
Not yet. We're still kind of young.
The field, what is it, 200 feet?
At our field, it is.
That's Little League baseball distance in
pretty
baseball.
Much.
Yeah.
And did you ever know that back when you were coaching at Robert E. Lee High School that you were going to end up being a girls softball coach and loving it?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I had a chance to go to Jeff Davis and coach softball, and that's why I chose Robert E. Lee, was because I wanted to stay with baseball. So.
That's amazing. And
what years were you at Lee?
2001 to 2008.
Yeah.
Okay, was Perry still there?
No, he had left, and Bill Granger had become the head football coach.
I know Bill.
It's good to see Robert Lee's program bounce back in football and basketball. Of course, that Ruggs kid at Alabama is a phenomenal athlete. He only ran a 4.25 the other day.
Good friend of mine taught school for years at Robert E. Lee High School, Judy Head.
I know Miss Head.
Yeah, she was Judy Mayer. Grew up
Brian.
here.
I coached Brian. Her son.
Oh, did you? Of course, Al was a great athlete here, quarterback and so forth, good friends of ours. Now tell us again what's going on. Did this start this week or when?
It starts the week after we come back from spring break.
And when do y'all go to spring break?
We go the last week of March.
Okay. You still got that to look forward to, is that right?
We sure do. We got not this week, but next week we go to spring break, and when we come back that Saturday we have the rodeo. If anyone wants to get into the rodeo, they can go online and get an entry form, send it into the school to me, and I'll get it processed. And if anyone wants to sponsor, we have sponsors for our hunt. Businesses that want to sponsor, they can contact the school and contact me, and we can help them in sponsoring the hunt. And
all right, do y'all meet somewhere before you go on the hunt? I don't think you do.
No,
do
we
you?
don't. We don't meet,
Yeah.
but we meet behind the gym. We'll
Afterwards.
have a spread. Hooks Barbecue is going to sponsor the food afterwards. Ideal Graphics sponsors the banner and all the advertisement and the shirts that
Now,
we.
you're not
we
telling
do.
me that Tony is a turkey hunter, is he?
I don't think he
He's
turkey
got a kid
hunts,
in the
but
school, though, doesn't he?
I don't know if he turkey hunts, but I think he likes helping out the school.
Well, you're doing good. That's two of our sponsors.
And so he'll sponsor. He's sponsoring the food that we'll have for the hunters, and so we just we have a good time. We have a lot of folks show up just to see what birds are turning.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And how many have you killed already this year?
I hadn't even been yet. I had a tournament in Macon East this past weekend, which was opening day, and I've got a JV tournament this weekend at Pike for baseball and softball, and so that'll be this weekend, and it probably won't be until Monday morning before I get to go, and it's supposed to be raining, so I'm gonna be wet.
So do y'all still have property that people, would let y'all go out and turkey hunt on? Do y'all still need property, or do y'all?
y'all looking
You
for
pretty much
places?
go on your own property.
Okay.
That's the difference in the turkey hunt and the deer hunt. The turkey hunt is you choose where you want to go. It's almost like the joke is you might have one tied up out there saving it for the turkey hunt. And
All right, I've had a lot of turkey hunters on this show, and I'll fool around with a scratch. Is that still
That's
the
a
way to
slate.
go?
That's what I use. I like to slate.
Can you do it with
I
your
can do a
mouth?
I can
Have
do
you
a
got
mouth,
your?
though.
Have you got
I don't
your
have anything
collar
on.
on?
No, all that stuff's in a.
My cousin Jerry Renfro used to be he was one of the best mouth callers around, and it's amazing how you could go out in your backyard on a crisp winter morning and start fooling around with it, and before long you hear something. You said, "I heard something," and in a minute it was a turkey call.
Yeah.
And of course, I know it's exciting and so forth. And but could an amateur that gets hold of a collar, one of those scratch collars, could he actually call the turkey out?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I learned. I got one and just started practicing and listened to it on a disc.
And it excites you when you hear that, and the closer that sound gets, you hear it from way off, and then it gets closer and closer and closer.
Makes your heart race.
And you want to be off of a field. You want to be in the bushes, looking out toward a field. Is that right?
Pretty much. Yeah. You want to be as camouflaged as you can, because any movement that you have, that bird picks it up.
Yeah. And you better be there before they. You better be awake and out there before they are. Is that right?
That's right.
And do they start fighting each other?
Well, I've actually only seen that one time. I shot a bird one time.
Because they're going after a man now,
I shot a bird one time, and it spooked the other two birds, and then they came back and started fighting. And I thought that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And of course, it is probably the most popular sport out there, I would think.
It's called the Pike Liberal Arts Thunder Chicken Rodeo.
Right.
Yeah. Thunder Chicken Rodeo.
That'd be a good T-shirt, Thunder Chicken Rodeo.
And did y'all do well last year?
We did. We did really well for the first year.
Yeah. And you make your money by participants. Costs $100 to participate.
We make our money by participants, and we make our money by sponsorships.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's great. And I know you're excited about it and so forth. And y'all don't go to on break, spring break. When do y'all actually?
It's not this week, but next week.
Will you actually be playing in tournaments, or will you actually have a break?
We have a tournament at the end of the week at Abbeville.
Okay.
Right now, how does your team look? Is it a young team, or does it have a lot of seniors?
We've got 4 seniors and 2 juniors, and we've got like 10 sophomores.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's a young team though. And right now, what's your record?
We're 12-9.
Uh-huh.
Doing a lot better. The last 2 years with this team, basically almost the same girls except for seniors graduating.
Yeah.
We would be chasing 500.
Yeah.
Right now,
Of course,
we're above it.
Pike is a 3A school, which is the largest school, and there's some real good. People don't realize how competitive that league is. There's some good teams in that
Got
league
some
and
good
everything.
teams. We're playing really good ball, and we're getting closer to teams that in the past have been way better than us. 10-run ruled us, and now we're we beat Macon East for the first time in 3 years with this group.
Oh boy, yeah.
In the tournament the other day, 4-0, and we're getting closer to competing with those teams instead of just getting hammered by them.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's
So y'all
good.
ever have to travel to Bessemer Academy and play up there?
no, not yet.
Okay.
Of
So what
course,
about as far as, like, I guess 3A schools? Is there any in Mobile y'all would have to play?
Not that I think. No,
So basically, y'all are playing the Lee Scotts, the
Alabama
Glenwoods, the
played
Macon East.
Glenwood, Macon East. We played Bessemer one time.
And all of those are solid programs.
Yeah.
You know, no question, big, strong programs. And you get new girls coming into Pike almost every year, and the first thing you ask them is, "Do you play softball?"
Unfortunately, I get a lot of no.
Yeah, well, the reason I say that, there's a lot of people moving into Troy now. Troy's growing and in and out and so forth. And the first thing you want to know is, can your daughter pitch?
Can they play softball and can you pitch?
Oh gosh, but isn't it great that 25 years, 30 years ago, you didn't have women's sports, and now you do.
You didn't have hardly anything.
And these kids, they give 15 scholarships a year. If you're a college player and whatever, and y'all have had a few of them, haven't you?
Yeah, Jenny Brown is playing at Chattahoochee Valley, and she hit her first home run in last weekend's series, and she's doing real good.
Yeah.
And going to go play at Huntington after she gets done with Chattahoochee Valley. And on this team, Ashlyn Atwell signed with Huntington.
Huntington's a good program too.
And so we've got, two in our program that are going to the next level, and so we're real excited about that.
I know you are, no question about it. And of course, this is a lot of fun to watch these girls, and it's called participation. There's a lot of family participation out there, isn't it?
Oh yeah. We try to build our program around being a family.
Yeah, I mean, you got what, 30, 40 girls in your program, your softball program, or do you have one lower than junior varsity? Do you have
No.
Are all these girls playing travel ball? I mean, it's like
We have
year
a large-
round now.
We have a large majority of them that do. I'd probably say over half the team does.
Yeah. Now you coach football too, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, you do a good job. You've been around it for a while.
Been around a
haven't
little
you?
bit. Been around some good coaches and some good ball
Yeah,
players.
and of course, the thing about the people got to understand is that like you said, your number of seniors, it differs every year. Sometimes you might have 20 seniors, which would be fabulous, or 15 seniors. Sometimes you might not have but 5 or 10. Is that right?
That's right.
So and of course, I say you can't recruit, but you can recruit. I reckon you can get anybody.
Well, if they're interested in coming to Pike, we'll talk to them.
And do you go out into some of the rec leagues and go to some of these tournaments, junior varsity tournaments, looking for players?
I go out and watch, and and if I see somebody that interests me, I'll say, well, where does she go to school?
Yeah.
Where's she from?
Yeah. You don't necessarily give scholarships, but you encourage them to come. Is that right?
I try to get them. I see where their interest is.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's
good.
like the kid last year, the kid from Brantley, the Renfro kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No
I mean,
question
he came
about
in
it.
and was really good for the baseball
A lot
team.
of good players, and we've got a phenom coming up in boys baseball. It's got one of the best changeups I've seen, and he was an 8th grader last year.
Drew Nelson.
Drew Nelson. How many of those kids do you see come through?
You don't see very many of them. Drew's a special ball player.
Yeah. Of course, you coached ball a long time, to be able to see a kid, and last year, the 8th grader, he had the best changeup I think I've ever seen with a kid that age. But something else, Mike, he had the best move to first base I think I have ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't get off of step, he'd throw you out. Is that right?
Yeah, he was good.
Is he having a good year this year?
He is so far. He's got a little late start because basketball went long.
That's right, yeah.
So he hasn't pitched as much so far.
Yeah.
But he's catching up. I mean, they're all all those basketball players are starting to get their swing.
Yeah.
How's that work as a coach? I mean, when you've got a lot of kids that play all 3 sports, that's going to be tough sometimes as a coach. Just saying, I kind of hope this season ends a little earlier so I can get some of my guys a little earlier.
We just try to work together at Pike, and we try to allow our kids to play as many, because I mean, I've got so many athletes on my team that can help other sports, and I want basketball and volleyball to do as well as softball. But also if they're not doing anything that day, well, come on down and get some swings and throw the ball around a little bit so that you're not that far behind. but don't do so much to where it takes away from that sport that's going on.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, we were talking about these pitchers, and right now, who's your top pitcher right now? Your ace?
Right now, Dana Dawson is doing. She's got right now the most wins and the best ERA.
Now
But they're all about even. I mean, Allie Rushing's doing really, really well. Her ERA is way improved from last year. Morgan Bundy's doing really well.
Y'all play 7 or 6 innings?
We play 7.
7. Okay.
But now a lot of your tournaments don't go that way. I mean, we played 4 tournaments so far, and they are all like an hour and 15 minutes. So you may play 5, you may play 4.
So it's just whatever the score is at the time, it's over?
Whatever it is, and then at the end of 70 minutes, wherever you're at, 75 minutes, that ball game's over. So,
wow.
Oh, really? Huh.
And that's the only way that, with softball that you can get in, with 8 or 9 teams, a double elimination tournament.
Yeah, I got you. Now, something I was going to ask you, do you call pitches?
I do.
Do you? So yeah.
But I've been calling
Coach, why did you call that pitch?
I've been calling pitches since I was 7 years old. So,
yeah.
Because I've been a catcher all my life. So,
have you? Okay.
So when it comes down to the young lady behind the plate that might have been a catcher since 10th grade, and me, I think I'm kind of a little bit more qualified.
And of course, some of them have a good change up, and I say right now, I grew up playing baseball. I didn't know what a changeup was. I knew what a curveball was and a fastball, but the changeup just makes it all tougher because it's all about balance. Some kids will get back on that back foot, and some kids will start moving it. But the changeup keeps them off balance. Is that right?
And that's what's not much different in baseball and softball. Change of speed in both sports messes up every hitter. So if you can get them looking for something that's fast and then throw something that's slow, then it makes them start thinking, and especially if you can throw it effectively.
Yeah.
What about arm injuries? I mean, you got tons of Costco kids getting Tommy John and stuff like that because they're throwing a lot of breaking pitches early in their lives. Do you have arm injuries much in softball?
In softball, you have the pressure is more on their shoulder than on their elbow because it's a natural movement.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we try to do is if they throw, the next day they do a lot of running to try to work out any kind of soreness or stuff like that. We throw a rotation. Yeah. If one girl throws that day, another girl's going to throw the next day, because I want them to be fresh, as fresh at the end of the season as they are at the beginning.
But if you got to get that one out in the last inning, you're going to bring in your ace?
If that girl's struggling, yes.
Okay.
If that girl's struggling, but if she's not struggling, I'm going to stick with it.
His bullpen's struggling right now. It's Troy University. We got swept by Arkansas State.
Sure it is, no question about it.
We got to figure out some pitching issues.
We'll be talking about that in a minute. Of course, something that really gets me, you see a little girl who's not a big girl, but just has tremendous bat speed. Is bat speed real important with the development of a girl softball player?
As fast as the ball gets to you.
Like a golf ball, if that ball's moving, that bat speed meets the ball and it advances the ball quite a bit.
Especially with the way the bats are so well developed that a lot of times if you just get the bat out there, it's going to go somewhere.
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't believe this, Dad. Like some of these softball bats cost $400.
Oh, they do.
Isn't that amazing?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, all of this is going to be on April the 6th.
April the 6th.
And which is a Saturday.
And you go out in the world. You go ahead. First of all, you've got to go ahead and make your, write your check for $100.
$100.
All right. How many participants do you expect?
Well, last year we had 30 teams.
So that's $3,000.
We'd like to have double that this year.
Won't that be fun?
It'd be nice.
Are you finding folks that are saying, well, I never turkey hunted before, but I'll try it?
I've never had that, but I've had folks that would hunt with someone that has turkey hunted before that's never turkey hunted. Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And, again, everybody will go ahead and call you and get registered and so forth. And then everybody goes out to hunt on their own that morning, and then they all end up at Pike Liberal Arts around noon.
By 12. Got to be there by 12.
Around 12.
They have to like document all this with their phones and stuff.
Well, just bring the bird in.
Okay.
Got to bring the birds. Got to be brought in. Can't have any frozen birds.
Yeah. Now, how about the beard? Now, why is everybody always talking about the beard?
Well, you know,
how long the beard
that's
is.
just kind of a status thing. You know, how long the beard is. We score the beard.
There's your beard there.
Well,
Yeah.
we score the beard. We score the weight, and we score the spurs. You know, a certain way to get the amount of points that they get. So it's a combination of all three. It's the weight, the beard, and the.
So who won this last year?
Chad Copeland's team won it last year.
Okay, and they actually have a team.
Yeah.
It's
a team of 2 hunters.
Yeah, and is it an adult and a teen?
It can be 2 adults. It can be an adult and say their sibling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put my money on Daniel Wilson.
Yeah.
Since I grew up with him.
Well, my buddy across around the corner is who I'm pulling for.
Who's that?
You know.
Around the corner?
Around the corner from me where I live.
On Crow Hill?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
You don't know Neil's...
Bobby Hussey.
Bobby Hussey. Bobby and his son have already been out.
I think he killed one last year, but it didn't get in the top 4.
But so it's pretty competitive, isn't it?
It is. We have a good time.
I know, and it sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, if you like the turkey hunt, you're eligible. Is that right?
Right.
No age limit.
Well, Coach, before we let you go today, who's going to win the NCAA tournament? We got our brackets right here.
Shoot, I'm gonna root for Auburn after the way they beat Tennessee yesterday.
I'll tell you what, they're playing good ball.
They sure did.
You know, they're not even playing the Wiley kid that much, and they're still blowing out everybody.
How many threes? I noticed when I heard them that they had 14 threes. How many did they end up with? You know?
I don't know.
I think it was 15.
It was lights out.
Which is unreal.
They beat Tennessee twice now in a week.
They said on the TV they've hit over 600 threes this year.
I can't believe they're number 5 seed. I thought they'd be higher than that, winning the SEC tournament.
Coach, when's your next game?
We play tomorrow at home in a doubleheader against Northside.
That'll be a good one.
Northside out of
competitive,
Dothan?
Is that right?
Sir?
Everybody's competitive.
Yes, sir.
Right now, is your team, of course, in 3A, right now, do you look like you'll be in the
I think we have a good shot to make the
tournament?
state playoffs, yes.
And how long ago down the line is that?
That's May 2nd and 3rd.
That's a long ways away.
Long way away.
It sure is.
A lot of things can happen between May 2nd and 3rd.
No question about it. And of course, how many games do y'all play usually?
Last year we played 43.
43. All right, 43.
We're
and
at
then
22, 21 right now.
Yeah.
We're not even halfway there.
Isn't that amazing? And then this summer, a lot of them will play 40 more games, so that's 80 games. Do they burn out?
Not really. My girls love playing softball.
Yeah.
They love it.
And the parents love to go watch it, is that right?
They'll sit there. They'll be there every weekend.
It's a great game, no question about it. And in fact, out of all the girls' sports, that's probably my favorite.
Mine too.
And now, some of your girls do play other sports like basketball.
I've got several that play volleyball, and then I got several that play all three. They play volleyball, basketball, and softball.
That's one of the great things about Pike. You got an opportunity to play a lot of sports, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Well, I appreciate you being
Thank
on
y'all
our
for
show,
having
my
me.
friend.
See you, Coach.
And if you'd like to come back in the week of the event, we'd love to have you.
I'd love it.
Just come on and be with us.
Okay, great.
We'll be back to more of Today in LA right after this.
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up.
You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town & Country Flooring Center.
He sent me a ring. Yeah.
Awesome.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile, you saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Please. Back to our show, brought to you by Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr.
Look, my head's hitting the bar. That's neat.
Damon Street, Dr. Robert Precise, one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama, and we appreciate him very much. He's been a strong supporter of our show. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you.
Of course, a lot going on in sports over the weekend. Auburn, of course, won the SEC championship. In basketball, they won 4 games in a row. Alabama beat Ole Miss, fell to Kentucky, lost by 15 points. Avery Johnson, a lot of people thought his job was on the line, but apparently Alabama's going to keep him. They're actually a #1 seed in the NIT, and they will play Norfolk State on Wednesday night. And I would expect the crowd for that game to be maybe 1,000 people for the NIT.
Are they playing in Tuscaloosa?
Well, as the #1 seed, you play every game in Tuscaloosa until you get beat.
That's good.
So there's now a chance they can make the Final Four and go play in New York. But it's all about Auburn, man. All about Bruce Pearl. All about Brown and Harper. I mean, they're just playing phenomenal basketball right now. Won 26 games now, and I tell you what, they're a team that could really make a run. I mean,
they got the shooters.
I was thinking Sweet 16, but they might make a Elite 8, Final Four. Who knows?
Yeah. What do you hear about Troy? Have you heard anything much?
I hadn't heard anything about Troy basketball. It's a situation where, I'm sure the athletic department and coach, Jeremy McLean have got a list of guys they want to interview, and then you're also in a situation you might have a coach you want to interview, but you can't interview him right now because the season's still
That's
going
right.
on.
Okay, that has a lot to do with it, doesn't
So
it?
do you wait until, the Final Four, or do you wait on down the season? It's going to be interesting to see what Troy does, but I really hope Troy hires an experienced head coach. That's what I think they need. And they need a guy to come in there and motivate these guys to play hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Coach Cunningham and Coach Grant, Coach Worley, Coach Fletcher are good coaches. But they lost that team when they lost Bernardo. And the defensive effort is what was the biggest issue. I mean, they're giving up 80 points a game in conference. You're not going to beat anybody.
Yeah.
And then they got to win at home. Whoever comes in here has got the nicest basketball arena I've ever seen. And trust me, I've seen a lot for a non-Power 5 conference. There's no nicer arena than Trojan Arena. There's some bigger arenas in the Sun Belt. There's nothing close to how nice that is of a facility. And you got to get the students involved. You got to get these local community involved. I don't care if you're giving away tickets sometimes. You got to get fans in the stands and give these guys support. That was awful, the support these guys had over the last 6 years. And this was an NCAA tournament team, that went and played Duke 3 years ago.
No question about it.
So, it wasn't like they weren't a talented group of kids.
So, you and I went to that tournament. Of course, we fought our way through Atlanta traffic to get there. But
we got a parking violation for being in the passing lane.
The
peach pass lane.
Peach pass that way. But nothing was going to keep me from seeing Troy play Duke.
Oh, I know.
I would have expected 1,000 people to want to do that.
Yeah,
that's
the experience I'll never forget as a Troy fan.
And we thought that Troy played them very well too.
Well, what can you say? Duke, I think, was 80% from the 3-point line to start that game.
And then they were just red hot. If you're gonna beat a team like that, they've got to be cold, but not Duke when that happens.
But it's amazing, Troy, early this season in basketball, they played St. Louis down to the wire, got beat by 4 points. St. Louis won their conference championship yesterday.
Western Kentucky, Troy beat at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky plays in the finals of the Conference USA Championship, gets beat by Old Dominion. So, I mean, you can't tell me this Troy team didn't have a lot of talent. So,
and then they beat UAB.
Beat UAB, and UAB got beat by Old Dominion by 1 point in the Conference USA tournament. So,
you know, one thing that I don't like is, well, you know, Troy could have had a chance if they'd had a halfway decent year to play in the NIT or one others, is that you could have a real good team record-wise and still not make the tournament. Why is that?
Well, if you win the Sun Belt regular season, you automatically get a bid to the NIT.
Regular season?
Yeah.
Without the playoffs?
Exactly, without the conference tournament.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Troy made the NIT 1 year because
all right. Who made the
Texas State?
Texas State.
Yeah.
All right,
Georgia State beat Texas Arlington to get in yesterday. Here's the rundown of the bracket. Of course, everybody wants to fill out a bracket. It's one of the biggest things to do in the country at all kinds of different offices and all kinds of different.
Are we going to do it
this
morning?
We're just going to go over to the teams right now. You got Duke playing, as the number 1 seed. They're playing North Dakota State or NCCC. You got VCU playing UCF.
All right, which one's going to be the play? There's going to be a game.
Playing games are down here. You got North Central against North Dakota State. So that game will be played on the 20th. Then on the 19th, you'll have Belmont. And that was huge news yesterday. Belmont gets an at-large bid. Of course, everybody knows Troy played Belmont for years and years when they were in the Atlantic Sun. So Rick Bird's an unbelievable coach.
Temple is a good program, too.
Yeah, so Belmont, Temple, whoever wins that game will move on. North Carolina Central, North Carolina State, that game will decide who moves on. Then Fairleigh Dickinson against Prairie View. And then Arizona State against St. John's. Of course, locally, the Roberts kid from Troy plays at St. John's. I don't know if he played this year or if he got redshirted, but those are your play-in games. So you can kind of go down the line and just talk about all the different games.
All right, let's look at the number 1 teams in each region. Duke is the East, is the number 1 seed, followed by number 2 seed would be Michigan State. Izzo is one of the great coaches in America. And he always has his team playing well in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he's only won national championships, but has been in the Final Four more than pretty much anybody. And then you got Gonzaga out west. They're number 1 seed. Number 2 seed out west will be Michigan. Michigan's really got another great team. John Beilein does a great job with them. And then in the south, you got Virginia. Virginia was the regular season ACC champion. Virginia is the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed will be the Tennessee Volunteers, who Auburn now has beaten twice.
Boy, they beat them bad
in the last week.
Yeah.
Big news yesterday coming out of all this is that the SEC, who a lot of people think is an extremely strong league this year, didn't get a number 1 seed. Kentucky didn't get a number 1 seed, and Tennessee didn't get a number 1 seed. And then the Midwest, you got North Carolina, who's my brother-in-law's favorite team, and then you got the number 2 seed out of that will be Kentucky. So Kentucky and North Carolina will be in the same region.
Mike, tell us about this kid from Duke that all these people are saying is one of the best players to come out of the college ranks in the last 15, 20 years.
Well, I mean, Zion Williams. Zion Williams was the number 1 recruit in the country, and he's a one and done. Of course, Duke's got 2 other guys that are one and dones, but
I mean that means that they're going to go low.
He's the guy that basically blew out his shoe about a month ago.
It's going to get millions of dollars because of it.
Yeah, from Nike. A lot of people think he'll sign a big Nike contract, but he averaged close to 30 points a game as Duke won the ACC Conference Championship. Beat North Carolina by 1, which was a phenomenal game. But
did you watch that game?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
Well, of course. Now, when are we going to start working on our?
I guess we'll do the bracket maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll run out of time today.
We'll start our bracket tomorrow. Now, when do you have to have them in by noon?
You just got to have them in by
Thursday.
Yeah. The playing games don't really matter to me.
But now, how does it work? It's no way anybody's going to be able to predict every game. How do you win the bracket?
It's a point system. I'm on ESPN's bracket.
How does that work?
Pool. So basically, I mean, you get a certain amount of points for wins in the first round, second round, third round, and then the biggest thing is how many teams you have left for your Final Four. I missed about 1 point last year out of about 30 guys. I was doing an office pool.
Yeah.
So I won some money, but it's just all how you want to do it.
But it is a lot of fun, and so we need to make copies of this. And
SEC got 7 teams in.
Okay. Of course, it should be a lot of fun.
Of course, we mentioned baseball earlier. Troy has a really rough weekend. Gets swept by Arkansas State. When is the last time Troy's been swept at home by anybody in baseball?
I know it.
And they gave up another walk-off grand slam.
Oh, another walk-off?
Yeah. Gave up a grand slam in the ninth. They were up with 2 outs in the ninth. And
I saw that game. I was at that game.
Yeah.
And that was really something. How they lost that one, and they led by 6-5 most all of the game, and then this guy comes up and Troy gave up. Our relief pitcher was pitching brilliantly, and then threw the bad pitch.
Yeah, Gill.
Yeah.
Of course, Troy does have a new pitching coach. Brad Phillips was there for years and years and did a wonderful job. Left Troy for South Alabama, and they brought in a new pitching coach from North Alabama. And maybe it's just going to take a little while for these guys to gel together.
Yeah, no question about it.
You know, Brad Phillips was a good coach, though.
No question about it. Of course, if you didn't watch them in the SEC, Missouri. These are some of the scores. Missouri beat Georgia 71-61. Texas A&M beat Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's off to the worst season in their history, I would think.
Didn't win a conference game.
The second round on Thursday, Florida beat Arkansas by 16. Auburn walloped Missouri by 10. Alabama beat Ole Miss, which was an upset. Then
Alabama was trailing by 14 at the half, so that was a pretty impressive comeback.
And then Mississippi State beat Texas A&M. On Friday, the quarterfinals, Florida beat LSU. LSU has a real good team, don't they?
Well, you know, LSU's coach has been suspended due to the possible payment of a player.
Oh, boy.
And then one of the top players on the team that he was mentioned the name of, this kid named Smart, has also now been ruled ineligible. So I would not think LSU will go as far now.
Yeah. Auburn beat South Carolina, and this is a South Carolina team went to the Final Four last year.
No, that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
Yeah, South Carolina had a really good conference record, but it was really poor before the conference play started. And they finished 17-17, but were a 4 seed in the SEC tournament.
Kentucky walloped Alabama by 18 points. Tennessee beat Mississippi State by only 6 points. Then on Saturday, the semifinals, Auburn beats Florida 65-62, and Tennessee beats Kentucky 82-78, and they met yesterday for the championship, and Auburn walloped Tennessee by 20 in a phenomenal shooting display. Mike, Auburn's really playing well.
Yeah, Brown, Harper. I mean, they got McLemore, they got Dunbar. I mean, they got the Pure 4 kid coming off the bench. They've got just tons of talent. So there's a big bracket.
All right,
there.
Here's the big bracket in the Montgomery Advertiser today. If you want to get you a bracket, and
or you could just go to CBS.com and
exactly.
just print one off as well.
Do we want to do a bracket deal and we give away a prize?
We could start one tomorrow.
We'll give away. I tell you what. Well, this is not much, but it's better than nothing. If we can get some of these brackets in here, it'd be a lot of fun to look at. Of course, Alabama is playing in the NIT, which is good, you know?
No, that's not good. I mean, you're paying a coach $3 million a year. You got to make the NCAA tournament.
Well,
nobody that's an Alabama fan, which I'm an Alabama fan. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Avery Johnson can turn it around in one season. The only thing I think.
What happened to his son?
He just didn't play very well this year. He barely played him. But one thing I do think. The only reason I think he's keeping his job is that Tristan Wofford, the kid out of Mountain Brook, is going to go to Alabama. That's the only way I can think that he's going to hold on to his job.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to go to an NIT. Alabama lost 6 of their last 8 games, and they were projected to go to the NCAA tournament. You know, were the last. I think they and UNC Greensboro were the last 2 teams that were left out.
Yeah.
So, and Greensboro was 28-6.
Oh, yeah, no question about it.
So, I mean, I think Avery Johnson, you got 68 teams now in. You got to find a way to get in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no question.
Nobody cares about the NIT. I mean, NIT's, that just helps you maybe win a few more games and make your record look better.
I want to let everybody know that tomorrow at 5 o'clock from the Trojan softball complex, Troy plays Georgia Tech. 5 o'clock start, so that'll be fun to watch. Troy softball against Georgia Tech, 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Also, some other games out there. Pike Liberal plays host to the Alabama Independent School Tournament in golf. Of course, I want to congratulate Griff McCrary, and of course he is really off to a great start, and he had a 69 and a 71. So that's pretty good.
What year is he in the classroom?
He's a junior.
I was going to mention the SEC teams where they came in as far as positioning. Not Ole Miss, but Mississippi State is a 5 seed, which is really shocking. How can Auburn be a 5 seed and Mississippi State be a 5 seed? I figured Auburn would be a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
Then you have LSU coming in at a number 3 seed. Let's see as the list goes on. Let's see. Florida gets in, which I think they definitely deserve. They won 2 games in the SEC tournament. They're a 10 seed. And then on down, you've got Tennessee at a 2, Auburn at a 5, and then you got Ole Miss. Where's Ole Miss? Ole Miss seeding is an 8 seed, and then you got Kentucky at a 2 seed.
So how many they get in?
7.
That's really good.
And Alabama was everybody projecting to go in for the last 3 or 4 weeks, but didn't get in. They got 8 last year and 7 this year.
No question about it. Hannah Sims hit a 2-run home run in Tuesday, 6-3 home loss to G.W. Long in a matchup of defending state champions. Homered twice and had 4 RBIs in Thursday's 15-0 victory over Elba. So the Bulldogs host Opp on Tuesday. They're 9-4, but this Hannah Sims really has been playing great ball. Of course, Taylor McKinney, Macon East softball, had hit 4 home runs and had 13 RBIs to help Macon East go 3-0 this past week. So that's the big rival of Pike Liberal Arts. But it's great to have Robert on our show today. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, Coach Rowland. Of course, spring football starts this week for Troy as well. So that's
I think they hit the practice field tomorrow.
The 19th. What's the day? The 18th?
I want to say today is the 18th. You're right.
Yeah, so.
And everything. I don't see any golf stats here, Mike. They didn't get it in or what?
Well, I mean, you had Roy McIlroy win it all, and then you had Jim Furyk come in second. Let me see if I can find out how much money everybody won.
For some reason, I can't. There's no real information on that. I want to mention, of course, as we talk about the SEC basketball success that they had this year, putting in 7 teams. We'll give you a breakdown also of those guys that will, when they start their tournament play. But it should be a lot of fun. March Madness is here.
All right, here's the final. You got Roy McIlroy at 16 under. He won it all. All McIlroy won was $2.25 million.
That's a huge payday.
Biggest purse in golf. And don't feel sorry for Jim Furyk. All he did was go 15 under, finish second. He won $3.5 million.
Why?
1.35 million.
Oh man!
McIlroy won $2.25 million.
And those guys that were messing around right at the last.
The guy out of London, the young guy Eddie Pepperell won $725,000. Jonathan Vegas won $725,000. Dustin Johnson won $456,000.
They just knocking around. Wasn't
Snedeker won $456,000. Fleetwood won $456,000. Fleetwood's your favorite golfer with that long hair.
Nah, he needs to cut his hair.
Then you had Hideki Matsuzama, Justin Rose, Brian Harmon, Jason Day, Adam Scott. And then Tiger finished 30th at -6. Justin Thomas out of Alabama finished 35th.
If you're interested in local softball and baseball, get the Catch this morning at the Messenger. They've got a great selection of them, and they do a great job. I want to congratulate the whole staff there at the Messenger for putting together. I don't know if anybody does it, fall in football, spring in basketball, and now in baseball you've got it. Also information on all the local teams, and Mike Hensley, congratulations on a job well done, my friend, and of course Mike is our sports director. Of course, a good article today with Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams And Buddy Mike, whoever is designing this Ram truck boy, he is knocking them out, man, right now.
Yeah, I see a lot on the road. It's a pretty
Isn't
truck.
that a beautiful truck, that new Ram truck?
I tell you what, their design is better than I ever thought it could possibly be. Because I was not a huge fan of their old models.
Well, let me tell you something else they're doing. They're putting together a truck that gets good gas mileage, real good gas mileage, and also it's got a good lift about it too. So.
Speaking of trucks, I've got to go head up to Birmingham and go grab a truck.
We're going to take a short break, but before you go, we got to mention this one guy, Mike, the Scarborough kid at Charles Henderson.
Hit 2 home runs.
Lawson Scarborough hit 2 home runs to beat Enterprise the other day. I think it was Enterprise or Andalusia.
I think it was Enterprise.
But they're on a tear right now. I think Charles Henderson won 12 straight games.
Yeah, they're playing well.
Of course, Chance Pollard, Christian
Who's
McCall.
the new coach there? Matt Whitten.
And we're going to try to have him on our show soon. And a good look at we're going to take a short break.
I'll tell you what, that's a pretty impressive beard that Will Reeves has right there. That'd make his Uncle John proud.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our friends at Wise Office Supply on South Brundage Street right here in Troy, and also Express Oil Change and Service Center now. They've got a full service program going on right now. They can fix pretty much anything on your car. So they got a garage that's open today to help you get your car back on the road. Want to mention a few names of Charles Henderson baseball team who is on a tear right now. I want to say they won 11 or 12 straight games right now. Chance Pollard had a lot to do with it. He's been outstanding. Christian McCall, Cole McWhorter also has played very well. William Jackson Giles. William Giles, that's got to be Jackson Giles. Why do you want to change your name, son? I like that name, Jackson Giles. Brock Hunter has been outstanding. J.B. Sanders, Lawson Scarborough has been lights out with his power. Hit 2 home runs in a big a big single game the other night. I want to say it was against Enterprise. I want to say Tyler Stanton, Anthony Gerber, Walker Stallworth has been outstanding on the mound. I know, Betsy, you got to be excited about him. He's played very well. Keontae Brantley, who is an outstanding basketball player, also an outstanding baseball player. David Bryan, Will Reeves, of course, Will, the big guy, all kinds of power, and Jalen Debridge make up the Charles Henderson High School baseball team. The girls softball team is doing well, too, at Charles Henderson, and we want to mention a few of those girls. We'll go to our phones. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, I was just calling back.
My game is calling in from the road.
On the road. I'm passing on 231 a bunch of car dealerships.
Boy, you know,
passing Premier.
Yes, sir, buddy. They got a big sale going on right now too. Want to mention a few Charles Henderson softball players this morning: Sadie Leverett, Ashlyn Shaver, Hannah Hughes, Gracie Sneed, Heather Maxwell, Stella Gilbreth, Jayla May, Whitaker Lowry, Madison Stewart, Emma Kirkpatrick, Gracie Williams, Sydney Garrett, Dakota Berry, Emily Hughes, and Mackenzie Kane make up an outstanding softball team at Charles Henderson High School. I want to mention also a young man that a young team that's playing very well right now is the Goshen Eagles, and boy, they're playing very well under Robbie Kensall, their coach, and look out for them when it comes tournament time. They're led by a young man on the mound named Robert Newman, and I'm sure he's probably related to Bobby Newman, one of the all-time greats. We lost Bobby a few weeks ago, and but Bobby was an outstanding player, and I would guess that this Robert Newman is related to him. On Goshen's team, McGuire Stanley, Christian Andrews, Robert Newman, Jeffrey Warwick, Tyler Williams, Blake Sampo, Tamarcus Shipman, Brian Galloway, Logan Boyce, Bryce Williams, Caleb Gamble, and Mason Calhoun make up the 2019 Goshen Eagles. And of course, their softball team is doing very well. They're led by Mary Kate Mills, Zoe Warren, Emily Dunn, Brooklyn Bennett, Alexis McClendon, and my all-time favorite, Kate Warwick, Hannah Calhoun, Morgan Wilkes, Shay Shepard, Selena Warren, Casey Wilkes, and Lydia Harrison, who's also an outstanding pitcher for the Goshen Eagles. They're coached by Amy Warwick, and she does a great job. Pike County High School, coached by Taylor Hayes. They've got Quay Walker, Corey Rodden, Ethan Singleton, Whit Malden, Amarian Florence, Quay Coleman, Julius Allen, Ricardo Martinez, Isaiah Wheeler, Keaton Gilhausen, Jaquavian Johnson, Joe Jordan, Justin Brooks, and Tyrese Johnson. And we'll save the rest for tomorrow.
If they ever need a pitching coach, their principal is one of the best pitchers growing up in Pike County, Willie Wright.
Oh, yeah, and his brother played the major leagues.
Yeah, Wesley Wright.
Yeah. Mike Amos.
Willie threw about 90 miles an hour. He could throw it.
Well, what is Troy University going to do? There's not a write-up on that game today.
They lost 10-4 yesterday. And then the first game they got beat 9-3, and then I want to say the Saturday game, the game they were leading throughout, they got beat 10-6, I think.
Well, how bad did they get beat yesterday?
10-4.
Oh boy, man, I don't know what's happened.
Well, they swept UNA. Of course, UNA just made the jump to Division I in all sports except football. But You know, they've lost every midweek game as well. So just struggling with pitching, it seems like more than anything.
Yeah, no question about it.
I mean, we know Coach Smart pretty well. He's a great coach and a great motivator, and he'll have these guys playing better as the season goes.
No question about it. And
that's one thing I'm not concerned about is Troy's baseball program. We got a guy that loves Troy as much as you love Troy, and a guy that played it and cares about it, and he'll find a way to get them to improve.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be fun to watch. And
I mean, it's a situation where he had an unbelievable team last year, and he just lost a lot of great players.
Yeah, their record now is below 500. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they're 9-10.
Yeah, something like that. They got a big 3-game series next weekend at in the Carolinas, Mike, and that's going to be tough.
They got a big game, I think, Wednesday night against the Maine Black Bears. You got to go out there and watch Maine baseball.
Yeah, Maine baseball is pretty good. They used to make it to the tournament almost every year.
NCAA tournament?
No, the baseball tournament.
No, I'm talking about the NCAA baseball tournament.
They
really
used to make it almost every year. You're right.
Really?
Well, see, a lot of people don't expect them to be good because they're up there in the cold country, but while they do, they'll come down here and spend several weeks in the South playing different games like this one tomorrow night or Wednesday night.
Well, there's also all those Cape Cod leagues and stuff, and they play
exactly.
up there. They get a bunch of college kids that come out there and play. That might be a situation. I know they're great baseball towns. Brian Meadows told me his favorite minor league stop he ever played in was Portland, Maine.
Are you serious?
The fans and the people of Portland, Maine were incredible.
Uh-huh. And that was lobster country.
That was double-A.
And then they probably liked it because they would go out and eat lobster.
Yeah, I've always wanted a real deal lobster roll.
Yeah.
That's one spot my wife and I have talked about is trying to go to Maine and Vermont one day.
I want to mention Pike County Ford on the bypass right now. They're dealing with some of the best sales ever on Ford 150 trucks. Mike, a friend of mine pulled up the other day, and I said, man, what model truck is that? He said a 2013, and it had something like 18,000 miles on it. Have you ever heard anything like that?
I'm not.
It was like new, and it was a 2000, and of course it was spotless and beautiful. And I tell you what, a Ford 150 truck is one of the best vehicles on the road today, believe you me. Mike?
Well, you know better than most. You've been driving one for what, 10, 12 years?
Yes, exactly. And of course, we were excited about baseball getting started, and also football really getting started with. Of course, I mentioned not baseball but basketball with the tournament. But I tell you what's real big in Troy is spring training football, and that starts tomorrow. And I tell you, let me tell you, I've never seen anybody turned away from a practice field at Troy. I would think it'd be a great thing to do is go out and support this Troy football team by going out and watching them practice. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those situations where I hope everybody comes out and supports Troy and goes to the spring game with the new coaching staff. And, this should be a really talented team. You got to come together and believe in what these new coaches are preaching, and hopefully Troy can maybe go out and win the Sun Belt.
What's the date of the spring game, Mike? Do you know?
I think it's the 19th.
The 19th. Is that on a Saturday?
Wait a minute. Let's see. My birthday's on the 6th. So, yeah, it'd be on the 20th.
The 20th will
yeah.
be the T-Day game from right here in Veterans Memorial Stadium. Should be a lot of fun that weekend. And of course,
it should be extremely competitive at the quarterback competition. If Barker's healthy enough to compete in the spring, I'd be interested to watch that.
I'm looking forward to it. Of course, Barker coming off a great season until being injured. Have you ever thought about how good Troy would have been if he hadn't got hurt? Because he was really starting to really gel, and he was going to develop into
I would imagine Neil Brown thinks about it a lot.
He was fixing to turn it around so much that he could have really been a dominant quarterback at Troy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Troy's losses. They lost to Appalachia State, and then they lost to Liberty, and then they lost one more conference game.
They would have surely they would have not lost to Liberty.
No, actually, they only lost one conference game. So actually, Troy had a phenomenal year in conference. Just unfortunately, they had to play Appalachia State at Appalachia State, and they each had the same conference record. It's just Appalachia State won the head-to-head.
No question.
I forgot Troy got blown out by Boise to start the season.
Yeah, that's right.
I tell you what, as a Troy fan, after seeing what we did against Boise, getting beat by 36 points, and then you go 10-3, I will take that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no question about it. But we're excited about a lot of players coming back, and do you know where any of these players that are leaving the program are going? Do you have any idea?
No. Troy's the worst information place ever as far as trying to find out where people are going or who's coming or who the coaching candidates are. I mean, football was really good. You could go on this footballscoop.com, and it lets you know who the coaching candidates were and stuff like that. And I hadn't seen anything for basketball, but I don't know. It's all in that athletic department, man.
Yeah, no question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed our show today, and of course brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors on the Bypass. And it was a great interview we had with Colin McCreary, former Troy All-American, and of course a great golfer in his own right, and now is working with the PGA, Mike, on some outstanding tournaments. He's going to be going to Scotland later on. Which, Mike, are you still on? Well, we lost Mike Amos, but we're still on, and we want to thank you for watching our show today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be with us bright and early tomorrow morning for Today in L.A.